it's Inga, and it's finally time for my June favorites, which I am actually filming on the last day of June instead of waiting a week. So I have 6 items I loved for this month and 3 items I didn't, and I'm just gonna go right into it because who wants to hear me talk too much? I'm just gonna start off with my skincare, and my favorite skincare for this month is my Neogen Gauze Peeling Wine Pads. The Olive Young near my house has always been sold out of this, but not anymore. I got my hands on it and I love it. I usually use the soft side and kind of just dampen it, and then I switch over and I exfoliate, and then I use the soft side again to take off the excess, and you just rinse your face and your face feels amazing. So I use this once to twice a week. It really depends on how my skin feels. I had a week this month where I really needed it, so I used it twice, but most of the time I only use this exfoliating 1 time a week, and then I use a different method the second time, which is usually the Skin Food Black Sugar Mask. But I'm in love with this. I can't sing its praises enough. It was fantastic. I love it. So I'm gonna go straight into the makeup, and I have a new line from Chosungah. Chosungah is a very big Korean makeup artist, and she has her makeup line. I think you can also buy some of the things from her makeup line in Sephora. She came out with a line called 16, which is definitely supposed to be a little bit more hip and trendy and bright. And I picked up 2 of the eyeliners from her line. So I am absolutely in love with these liners for the fact that they glide on really smoothly. When they set, and the colors are beautiful. I have been obsessed with cobalt blue, so when I saw the cobalt blue, I couldn't not pick it up. And the fact it's a twist up. I love twist ups. I hate having to sharpen my eyeliners. And then I swatched this one, and then I had to have that one as well, so that was just all downhill from there. So this one right here is PEO2. It is in cobalt blue, and it glides on. It's just this beautiful blue shade. This one right here is PTO2, and it is in the shade Aqua, and it is a shimmery aqua shade. So I was really impressed with the quality of her liners. They set, they didn't budge, they didn't smudge, they were just beautiful. So if you head over to Korea and you end up in a Watson's here, Watson's is a lot like Olive Young, I definitely recommend picking up some of her liners. The next thing I'm going to recommend is this here by Epieu. This is their under eye brightener. Now it's a pretty normal cushion tip color corrector. I'm partial to the light yellow color correctors for under eyes versus the peach. I feel like with how pale my skin is, sometimes the peach can be a lot darker and it actually keeps my under eyes looking dark. But this light yellow, it really brightens and conceals my under eye circles a lot better than my peach color correctors do. With how narrow this tip is, I can really get into those inner corners, and I've been concealing with light yellow for a very long time. I ran out when I came to Korea and I couldn't find any other yellow correctors, and so when I found this, of course I snapped it up, and it has worked fantastic. If you're in the States, you can probably find a yellow corrector that is similar to this, so I don't say that this is something where I'd be like, you have to buy this one. It's a yellow color corrector. It works well for me. It doesn't crease, but I'm pretty sure you can find ones like it in the States. So is this a must buy? Probably not. Does it work well for my pale skin? Yes. My next favorite for this month are these contour duos from Tony Moly. So first of all, these are so cute. They're little pandas. And secondly, the reason I like this is because most stick contours in Korea are too warm for my skin tone, and this one's at that point where it's a little warm, but at the same time it's so much more cooler toned than the other contour sticks in Korea. I mean, look at it. When you blend it out, it warms up a little bit, and so I do tend to use it a little higher on my cheek so it looks more like, kind of like a bronzer. This is the coolest toned contour stick I have found yet. And I like to use it, especially like just right here on my chin and just on the tip of my nose. I don't tend to contour with it right here because I really don't like a super strong contour on my cheekbone. I prefer to use a powder there. But for just my chin, to make my chin a little bit more V-line and just on my nose, this works really well. I also really like the highlighter because first of all, it's not shimmery, And secondly, it is actually light enough to highlight on my face. So these Panda Dreams contour, there is a middle shade, but it's more like a warm tone concealer. So for me, it's not what I'm looking for. It's gonna be warmer and darker than my skin tone. I definitely prefer this to the Etude House Play 101 double-ended contour stick, and that's because I feel like when you blend it blends out nicer on the skin, and because it's not as dark and not as warm, it looks so much more natural. And that I feel like has been a really big problem with the contour sticks in Korea, is that they're too dark or they're too warm. And so a lot of the Korean girls I see that are contouring with them, I can see this long warm streak right here, and then it's just pale and it looks terrible. Just don't do that. The next one is this right here. So the shade I got is 01, which on the back says bubble red. And the cool thing about this is it is a compact, and it is supposed to be cheek and lip. So the lighter color here is a little smoother and less glossy, and it works really, really well on the cheek. And this one right here is supposed to be for your lips. So the cheek color is this right here. When you blend it out, it's this beautiful orangey warm cheek that's perfect for summer. And this one right here is the lip. It's a darker orangey red. You can see it's got more gloss to it. And I really like using it on my lips. I feel like this is really, really fantastic for summer. It's a perfect color for summer. Because my skin's so light, I don't put a lot of product on. A little goes a long way, but it just looks beautiful and warms up your skin, and it's the perfect summer colors. Plus, it's easy just to toss into my bag. I don't have to worry about bringing a blush and a lip gloss and a this and a that. I can just throw this in. And if I ever feel like I need to touch it up, look how cute that is. That's freaking adorable. I already know when I go back to the States, my peeps are gonna be jealous. They're gonna have to keep their hands off my Panda. My last item is my favorite item. As you guys know, because I've told you guys plenty of times, the Korean summers are humid and hot and terrible. So I bought this. And you may think, wow, a tiny fan. But first of all, this was only $2. And second of all, it plugs into my phone. This is the best thing I've ever bought. This is literally the best thing I've ever bought. And if you feel worried about like the fact that there's a fan right there, it's not gonna hurt you. This was 2001. That's it. I literally throw this in my purse, and if I start feeling hot, I pop it on my cell phone, and I can basically play on my cell phone and be fanned at the same time. It's the best thing I've ever bought. So now let's go into my dislikes. So my first dislike is this guy right here. Now, because Innisfree now has their new packaging where you can choose your own cushion case, you can't see what it is. This is the Innisfree Longwear waterproof cushion, and the reason I don't like this is because of the shade. So I got shade 13, which has always worked for me in the past with Innisfree. I feel like the wear of this cushion was nice, but it also oxidizes throughout the day. When I applied it in the morning, it was a neutral tone, but it still matched the lightness of my skin, but it oxidized throughout the day. I went into the bathroom probably 4 hours later and was really shocked about how yellow my face was. And I had like that kind of mustache, like the yellow foundation mustache, and I was absolutely appalled. I had to take it off right away, so I went into a makeup store and I bought one of those cleansing wipes, and I just took all my foundation off because I could not handle how yellow this foundation turned on me. So if you have a yellow undertone, this is probably gonna work for you, but for me it was a terrible, terrible choice. And I'm actually, if they come out with a 13 cool, like a 13C, I still don't know if I would buy this because it's going to oxidize, and then the mustache, and don't know if it's worth it. Next is this Aloe Gel by The Face Shop. Now, so many people sing the praises of Aloe Gel. This one, first of all, I really don't feel like it moisturizes my skin that much, and secondly, it leaves me sticky. If I'm going to use a moisturizer that's a gel-like formula, I really want to put it on and feel more refreshed afterwards, right? You want to feel refreshed and cool and relaxed, and this leaves me feeling sticky and goopy, and I'm not super impressed with it. And my last dislike is this one right here. So this right here is one of the Missha Matte Painting Rouge, and it is not the formula I don't like. It's the shade. I think it's BE02 is the number, and it's called Think of You. It's supposed to be a more natural shade, and in the tube it looked like a really nice nude. When I swatched it on my hand, it also looked like a nice nude. I was pretty excited about it. If you can see, it kind of starts as a nude and then it darkens into like a more warm terracotta. Now, a lot of you guys might really love this color, but I don't, because of the fact that when I wear this, it ages me by 10 years. I actually went out to eat when I was wearing this, and when we went into a cosmetic shop so I could shop, I ended up catching sight of myself in one of the mirrors and was really shocked about how old I looked. So I ended up taking one of their wipes and wiping it off. My friend who was with me was actually visibly and verbally shocked because she said, "What, you look so much younger now." Terracotta color just doesn't look good on me. It looks like an older lady color, and when it dries down and gets matte and then my lips look even more wrinkly, I'll start to look old. So that's all for this month. I will see you guys for my next favorites next month, but of course I have a ton of reviews coming up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do, because I'm going to be doing so many reviews of cream products. I'm addicted to cream products, and there's no way I'm not going to keep buying them. If you haven't yet, I highly suggest to check out my Instagram and follow me. I was a photographer in college, and I really enjoy going out when I'm in Korea and taking pictures. It's a lot easier to see my day-to-day life if you follow me on Instagram. You'll get to see out and about some of the things I do in Seoul, as well as see some of the products I buy that I don't end up reviewing and don't end up on my channel. So that's all for today, so I am going to go. Goodbye! It's time for me to review the Etude House Double Lasting Foundation. So the foundation I have is in the shade Fair.